Hello and welcome back to today's session. Last time we established that glucose is the body's high octane fuel. But what happens when you have a massive influx of fuel after a large meal? You cannot let it slip over, you have to store it. That safe, compact storage form is glycogen. Think of glycogen as a compressed fuel pellet. Hundreds of glucose molecules chemically linked together into a massive, quick access storage unit. Today, we break down how the body builds this reserve by glycogenesis and how it taps down into it by glycogenolysis. So, the role of glycogen depends entirely on where it is stored. We have two key depots, and their missions are fundamentally different. So, here we have our liver depot. This is our central power grid. The liver's job is to maintain the central highway, that's blood glucose, for everyone, especially for the brain. When blood glucose drops, like overnight fasting, the liver depots, breaks down its glycogen, and has necessary exit ramps, that's our enzymes, to release free glucose into the bloodstreams. It sacrifices its own blood fuel for the benefit of the whole body. However, the muscle depot is known to be greedy. This is the personal power supply attached to the major machine, like our vehicles do have. Muscle glycogen, as I told, is greedy and is used only by the muscle cell itself for sudden, intense energy needs, like sprinting. The muscle cells lack the critical enzyme, like glucose 6 phosphatase, needed to release free glucose into the blood. It's a closed system. This is the construction phase. We speak about glycogenesis. And so, this process is triggered when blood glucose is high, that's after fasting. So, insulin here is our contractor, and what does it do? It signals the food that's plentiful so that it tells the liver and muscle cells to stop burning and start storing. So, glycogenesis takes glucose molecules and links them in long chains using enzymes like glycogen synthase. Think of the synthase like an assembly line for ramen, actively building and connecting the glucose units. The more insulin you have, the more active glycogen synthesis. Net result, excess fuel is quickly taken off the highway and stacked safely in the depots. So that is what we see over here. And just like we move forward to mobilize the reserve, glycogenolysis is the opposite, the demolition phase where the stored fuel is broken down for use. This process is triggered when blood glucose is low. That's when we are fasting or exercising. The emergency signal, it's the signal that depends on the location. So if we consider liver, the signal is glucagon. It's the emergency dispatcher over here, which is released from pancreas during so it's here glucagon. So it's released from pancreas during fasting to defend against hypoglycemia. However, in muscle the signal is epinephrine and nerve signals which indicate immediate fight or flight energy need. So the demolition group, that's glycogen phosphorylase. So this is the key regulatory enzyme. Glycogen phosphorylase acts as the demolition crew leader, chipping off glucose units from glycogen pellet one by one. This enzyme is highly active when glucagon and epinephrine is high. So the net result, the liver releases glucose to maintain blood sugar and muscle releases glucose 6-phosphate for immediate energy. So what happens if there's a problem with machinery depot? We get glycogen storage diseases. These diseases involve a genetic defect in one of the key enzymes, either one that builds the glycogen or one that breaks it down. So one get disease. So it's a defect in the exit ramp. So glucose 6 phosphatase is deficient. The blood can break down glycogen, but it cannot release the free glucose into the blood. So this results in severe hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, because the liver cannot fulfill its role as central power grid. And McArdle's disease, it's a defect in the demolition glue, muscle phosphorylase. The muscle has plenty of stored glycogen but cannot break it down for movement. So, exercise intolerance, muscle pain, because the muscle runs out of rapid fuel source immediately. Understanding these defects is a great way to remember each of the function of each enzyme and each depot. So, moving forward, okay, we have moved backward. Moving forward, here we have the pathways. So here, glycogenesis. So glucose forms glucose 6-phosphate via hexokinase or glucokinase, and then phosphoglucomutase. So this enzyme is common here in both the pathways, and it forms glucose 1-phosphate or glucose 6-phosphate in this case. And then UDP glucose uridyl transferase or just uridyl transferase pyrophosphorylase acts on G1P and forms UDPG, that's UDP glucose. And then other enzymes, other things acts over here to form alpha 1,4 glycogen and alpha 6 glycogen in case of branching. Glycogenolysis, on the other hand, uses glycogen phosphorylase over here, stimulated by adrenaline and glucagon, inhibited by insulin, ATP, and G6P, forms G1P. And here, phosphoglucomutase acts again to form G6P. And then, for isomerizing, to form phosphatase and phosphohexoisomerase, that is glucose and fructose 6 phosphate. So that's whole of it, and see you again in another session. Until then, go through your Vasudevan to get hold of the concept.